Good Tuesday morning. This is again a short text from Luke. I should give you Romans, okay? I like these texts on Luke, okay? For whatever it's worth, okay? Just a reflection, just a thought. He says, Jesus said to his disciples, gird your loins, light your lamps, and be like servants who await their master's return from a wedding, okay? Ready to open immediately when he comes and knocks. Blessed are those servants whom the master finds vigilant on his arrival. And then I say to him, he will gird himself, have him recline at table, and proceed to wait on them. And should he come in the second or third watch and find them prepared in this way, blessed are those servants. And see, what was he thinking about? Maybe when Luke wrote this thing, maybe he was thinking of the last judgment. Okay, Christ's going to come in the last judgment, okay? And he should, when Christ comes, he should find you doing what you ought to do. There's a great line, I think it was St. Francis or St. Anthony, one of those Italian guys. You remember them. And one of the brothers, I think it was Francis, they said to Francis, Brother Francis, if you knew what God was going to visit you right now, what would you do? He said, keep on doing what I'm doing. Great answer. Keep on doing what I'm doing. I hope I got that right. If not, he should have said it. Why? What's wrong with what you're doing? You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You see, whatever it may be. It might be sweeping the floor, cooking a dinner, preaching a sermon, catching fish, whatever it is. It's when it's in accord with what your life it calls you to, and the voice calling you is Christ himself, to live authentically your calling, whether it's as a married person, clergy like me, priest or brother, whatever it may be. It's to live authentically in the moment in which you're living. If you're teaching, you teach well. If you're praying, you pray well. If you're cooking a piece of steak, cook it well. Not well, medium rare. You get it? No, actually rare. Don't overcook it, okay? Come on, what's the matter? You see what I'm saying? Flourish in the moment. That's what he's saying here. Flourish in the moment. And God comes to us. What I find so attractive in this is that God comes to us in the surprises of the moment. See, be vigilant. Open him when he comes and he knocks. God comes in great surprises. It can be a given moment and a given grace. Something in a given moment where you are called beyond yourself in a given moment to respond to the knock on the door, to respond to the moment of grace. It could be anything. I think it can be the look in your beloved's eyes, maybe a tear, a given moment. I'll show you an example. I used it in class this morning, something like this. I call it active fidelity, when you're actively faithful as opposed to passively faithful, when you don't get in trouble. That's passive. When you are actively faithful to the people you love, you are actively attentive to them. You are actively attentive to seeing them. There may be a look on their face in a given moment. That's a moment of grace. Perhaps a sadness in their eyes. Something that tells you, see me. I'm alone. See me. As opposed to brushing them off, not paying attention. I was concerned today in class because I thought, there was a young woman in class, I thought maybe I crisscrossed on her. I caught a look in her face that I didn't find comfortable. Not that it was bad. It looked to me like I had offended her, or I was very close to it. So I immediately focused on it, and I said to her, did I offend you? I meant it. Because I was open. I'm not bragging, I'm telling you. Because I'm not talking at them when I'm teaching, I'm talking with them. I love those kids. And in loving them, I have to see them. And I joke like crazy with them. I tease the boys. Hopefully not inordinately flirt with the girls, but I love being with them. How could an 80-year-old man not love to be with 20-year-olds? But it also means I have to see them, and I have to hear them. And I know that if you were to say what has hurt so many human relationships, I think especially marriage, is they stop seeing each other. They're faithful passively, they don't get in trouble. No. But do they see? Do they actually see their spouse? Or does their spouse feel alone? The enemy of a good marriage isn't infidelity, it's the lack of fidelity. When you feel alone. You feel alone, Lord, save us sometimes in your own home. I have a saying, the loneliest place in the world could be the marriage bed, because you're with a stranger. The stranger doesn't see you. See? That's the text here, in my view. Christ comes to us in those moments, in the moments of life, when if our heart is open to seeing, we see the good that's there, the beauty that's there, the call that is there, the pain that is there, and not to miss it. Not to miss it at all. Yes. And not to miss it when we fail. Not to miss that we have hurt those we have loved the most, been not responsive, or said the wrong thing. Today, said the wrong thing in the wrong way to the wrong, in a community, to a person. Sometimes a person like me who scooches around, scooching is Italianate kind of word of teasing with affection. Sometimes it goes wrong. You scooch at the wrong time with the wrong person. It doesn't come across as a joke. It comes across as an insult. That's terrible. See? But you got to be quick to pick it up. Oops. Say, I'm joking. I'm sorry. You see? But you've got to be listening as you're talking. Seeing while you're looking at. I don't say that right. It's to be attentive to the other. And in that, I think that's the coming of Christ. It's the grace moment. It's not planned. The great grace moments are the accidents of life. The moments of grace, the smile that you least expected. The cry, the tear in the eye when you didn't expect it. Perhaps your own pain when you least expect it. And which is a grace moment, because it's a moment in which do you respond with your heart and soul, or do you go past it and ignore it? When Christ visits us in the tears of your spouse, did you see him? Did you miss him? Were you indifferent? Yeah, that's true, isn't it, huh? It's so easy. What did Sinatra say? Marriage can ruin a great friendship. You get too comfortable. You think you're seeing, but you're not. You're only looking at. You're not seeing anymore because your heart's not in it. To see, you have to have a heart open to the beauty of the beloved. And that's when Christ is present. And it can be in an accidental moment. It could be in the morning, a hello, or whatever it is. It's a grace moment. It's a grace moment. I think of that a lot. Christ doesn't come to us at a clap of thunder and a high old silver like the Lone Ranger did with Tonto. It comes in the subtleties of each moment of our lives. When you least expect, he's there. In the accidents of life, it's moments of vicissitudes, it's moments of grace, moments of love, moments of failure. If our heart is open to the intimacy of Christ, then we will find it in the intimacy of our lives, in the intimate moments of our lives, as we live our life as authentically as we can. That's when Christ comes. I think if I were to picture Christ at the end, he said, I came and visited, but you didn't see me. You didn't see me. You can't love someone you don't see. See? And he doesn't come in the abstract. He comes in the persons of our lives, the events of our lives. The great story which is our narrative. He's there co-writing it with us in the people and the events of our lives. That's where it is. I think that's right. And it takes a vigilance, but it isn't a speculative vigilance. It's a vigilance of active fidelity. To be vigilant in seeing those whom we have in our lives that we love and are loved by in the great event, the moments of grace. Isn't that neat? I think that's true, actually. Very, very true.